this video, I am going to introduce you to a simple formula to discover high-impact AI use cases in any situation. It's called P squared D squared. PPDD. Let's walk through this, what those steps are first, and then I'm going to give you a case study of this process in action to use to discover a real high-impact AI use case. The first P stands for patterns. Where is there routine activity happening, routine decision making that might have somewhat predictable outcomes? That's the first P. The second P is problems. Where is there a meaningful customer problem? Now, if you're spending money on customer support and you say, hey, I don't want to spend my money here, that's a problem to me, let's automate it using AI. Now that may be a useful, viable application, but the best applications of call center automation happen when they all in such a way where they also solve meaningful customer problems and not just the internal business problems. In the context of call center automation, what that might look like is reduced response time and removing the number of steps that a caller needs to go through in order to authenticate and provide that information over the phone. Now, let's move on to the D's. The first D stands for data. This data is what is going to be used with your machine learning algorithm. It's going to help the algorithm identify what that pattern is so that it can ultimately take over that process for you. Is that data going to be natural language data? Is it going to be data that is from your historical purchases and transactions? That is something that needs to be identified if that's something that you already have, or a plan needs to be made to acquire that data if it is not already available. Data. The second D in this process of identifying high-impact use cases is design for customer delight. This is where you use your imagination, your creativity to design something new that delights your customers. Now that we've walked through PPDD, our formula for discovering AI use cases, we are going to apply it in this case study. Imagine that you are an executive in a global retail company. Repeatedly, you find yourself in a boardroom discussion, needing data that is relevant to the conversation in that moment. You want to be data-driven, but the conversation is fast-paced. And by the time you finally fetch that PowerPoint or that Excel file or that report from the analytics tool that you're using, the conversation has already moved on and you've missed repeatedly your opportunity to use data to support your argument. Repeatedly, the data analyst gets questions like, where is the revenue report? Where is the website traffic report? And repeatedly, that data analyst needs to spend their time fetching data for people or pointing them to where it is. Now that's the pattern, needing data, and the problem is not wasted time looking for it and spending time for the data analyst showing other people where it is. That is the problem. Now, what data could be used to potentially solve this problem? Maybe natural language data. What if you had a data set that says, this is a question of what the report is being sought after? Revenue report. A revenue for the month of January. Well, that's something that you could conceivably just calculate. There is a ground truth answer for that. So what if we just collected those repetitive questions that get asked and then apply it in some sort of AI way? And now that we've collected that data, let's design for customer delight. How can we reimagine this scenario in a way that will make things so much faster and so much quicker? When I was working at Adobe Analytics, building features as a part of Adobe Sensei, Adobe's premium suite of AI tools, one of our teams of data scientists demonstrated an intelligent assistant with one of those smart home apps that you can put on the table. And you can talk to it in natural language and say, what was the revenue for Black Friday? 15 million. What was the conversion rate during Q1? 4.7%. This feature is being used by Adobe customers around the world, and it is driving a meaningful customer impact, making it so much quicker for those boardroom discussions, for people to have the data immediately available at their fingertips. Now this is AI, but not just AI for the sake of the tech. This is AI that drives meaningful customer value. Those executives have data faster, and those data analysts, they can spend their time just focusing on strategic analysis rather than fetching data. That is the case study that I wanted to share. Now, to summarize, patterns, problems, data, and delight. This is the formula for discovering high-impact AI use cases. And we've used a virtual assistant here to design for customer delight. But there are so many more use cases. There's personalization, recommendations, search intelligence, forecasting, churn and customer value prediction, AI for analytical insights, natural language, anomaly detection, pricing, AI for industrial tech. This is a huge one. This includes manufacturing, robotics, supply chain optimization. Now let me tell you this. That is what you are going to get in this YouTube channel. You're going to get use cases for AI across industries and verticals. We're going to talk about how to accelerate AI development, best practices for leading your team of data scientists, also formulating a compelling AI strategy. If you think that this topic of business and AI needs to be addressed more seriously, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and include your comments below on specific questions about AI and business that are on your mind. This is Intelligent Product. Please join me for the next episode in the coming week. Thank you very much.